Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you a couple of projects that I've done with you in mind. Simple projects. I love chip beads. I love the color turquoise, and I came up with this idea a couple of weeks before I went to the farmer's market last week. So I made a few of them for the farmer's market last week, and I've done a video as well as I designed. Very easy designs. There is a little bit of wire work involved, but a lot of you had said you like this more simplified work. A lot of you like the wire work. So these are wire work, but simplified just for you guys. Everything that I used in this video today will be linked down below in the description for you. But before we begin, please like this video. If you do like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you do like our content here and the community, and hit that notification bell so you are always aware of upcoming videos. Now, without further ado, let's get to these projects. So we are going to be making these beautiful turquoise pendants today. I found these stones in Michael's and I bought a whole bunch of them and looked around, found these findings, these chip beads, and I really like the way that they turned out. So I want to show you how to do these today. So let's get started on this first project. For today's project, you are going to need some of these unusual turquoise beads. I really like these, the unusual shape of them. They are gorgeous and they are top drilled, so the bail that we're going to make is very easy. I even have some purple ones which I also picked up. I think they are beautiful, and you can make the purple ones just like the blue ones. I have strawberry quartz chip beads. I also have turquoise chip beads, and then I have carnelian chip beads. These are the findings that I have. I did get these off of Amazon. I will link everything I use in this video down below so that you know where to get everything. And then some memory wire, silver memory wire. This is 20 gauge dead soft silver wire, and we're going to be using this today for the main bail. So I'm cutting 10 inches of this 20 gauge silver filled wire. So this is a stone we're going to be using today. The hole that's drilled in the top is here on this side. So I'm not really sure. Both sides are beautiful, you know. I think I'll use this side though. So you want to take that 20 gauge wire and you want to slip it through there. And make sure you have both sides as even as you can get them. They don't have to be perfect, but it is better if they're even. Now I'm going to take that wire, try to keep it in place, and then bend both sides up as evenly as possible. That's pretty close. So I'm just bending those as evenly as I can. Now I'm going to hold that into place. And I'm going to use my nylon jaw pliers, and I'm going to press where the wires are crisscrossing, and I'm just going to start going down like this. And that gives me the best look to the bottom of this bail here. And because it's dead soft, it will easily come back to shape. I want to hold those together as best I can. There we go. Now I'm going to take my 6-tier pliers, where if I can find them. And I'm going to use the second smallest section here. So I'm going to hold those two wires together just at the bend, like where I've bent it in, and I'm going to slightly press it back. Then I'm going to take my plier and I'm going to turn it around, and I want to use that same size and go around till you get to about there. Now I'm going to take the two pieces of wire and try to make sure that they're as parallel to each other as possible, that there's not too many bends, because they will not go through that loop very well if they're all bent out of shape. So I always try to keep my wires as straight as possible. And you want to keep this little beautiful little bead that's in the front to the front, whichever front that you've decided on your bead. Now I'm going to take that same pliers again, and I'm going to go and use the smallest size. So one size smaller than what I was using, because as you can see, the loop with this finding here is taking up a lot of space on this inner loop here. So it's best to go one size smaller. And I'm going to take one of the wires for this side here, and I'm going to pull it to that same side. Then I'm going to take the other wire, and I'm going to pull that one to the other side, to the opposite side. Now you've got that, and the wires are coming out the back. I'm going to put this pliers back in that loop and hold it into place. And I'm going to take the longer of the two. Now, if both of them are the same size, don't worry. It just depends on which side you're more comfortable working with. I want the maximum, so I'm going to take this wire here that's a little bit longer, and I'm going to go under this one. I'm going to go under it. You can see there, and I'm going to pull it around. And I'm going to pull and make my loop, make a one loop. And then I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to keep doing this until I've used pretty much all my wire. Because I want to decorate, but I also want to hide these wires that are holding this stone in place. Now when you get to here, you can see I have a lot left over. You could probably go around and maybe even come back to the front again, but I don't want to do that. I want this end to be sitting in the back because I am going to trim it. So as you can see, it's right there. So I'm going to press it down. Not a lot because I want to see where I'm going to cut it. So you can see I can cut it right about, I'm going to cut it right about here. I've cut it there, and I'm just going to press it in. And get a good hold on it. There we go. And press it up so it's out of the way. Now I've got this wire to contend with, and I want to do the exact same thing, but continue my loops down. So as you can see in the back here, it's coming out of this side. I'm going to bend it down. And I'm going to manipulate the wire to start and continue the loop in the front. And I'm going to continue this one till I'm right about there. Now what I want to do with the end piece, this wire here, I don't want to cut it off. I'm going to make a little loop that sits in the front. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm not going to cut it off. There's really only about a little less than ½ an inch here, so that's plenty to do the loop. I'm just going to cut the sharp end off that. And I am going to take my pliers, and I'm going to start doing a twirly, a loop, I guess, a twirly. I'm going to start doing a loop. And then I'm going to just ever so nicely finish it off. And then I'm going to press that in, gentle. And there's the first part of the bail done. Now at this point, you can leave it. You definitely can do that. You can just add your chain, whichever kind you're going to add. I like using this rope type chain for this here. And it will look spectacular just like that. But if you want to continue, then I'm going to cut myself a piece of memory wire. So I'm going to cut a piece of memory wire. It's not going to be super big. I don't want a huge, like you can see this one here, it's not really big. I think there's what, 6 chip beads on either side. Make sure you grab your special cutters, your memory wire cutters. You don't want to be cutting this wire with regular flush cutters. That will not go over well. Okay, so I am going to cut approximately maybe a 5 or 6 inch piece. That's probably too much, but just in case I have a screw up, you never know, things can happen. I'm going to put the memory wire inside the pendant, and then we're going to start adding our beads. So I think I'm going to use the strawberry quartz. I think they are beautiful. So I'm just going to pick a couple. So there's the first 2 beads. I'm trying to pick beads that are about the same size for each section that I do. And then I'm going to go and add the next one. And then just add as many beads as you like to add here. Now, as you can see, this side is a little bit bigger than this side because these stones are slightly bigger. So I'm going to add one more stone to the other side, and it should even it out. Now that is pretty even. So I'm going to make the loops on either side. I'm going to take these big pliers again because they handle memory wire very well. And I'm going to use the smallest. So I'm going to put that to the outside, and I'm going to, so I'm going to bend this memory wire, just go slow because it can be tough, right around. So your loop looks like that. And I want you to do the same thing to the other side. So when you get to the other side, I'm going to work this way. It's just easier for me to do that. And I'm going to leave a very slight space here, just enough room for this wire to come around. So not a very big space. And I'm going to pull this wire around and come to the front because this one is coming to the front. I want the other one to also come to the front, and this is the front of my piece. Don't forget you got the small one to the outside because that's the size that you made the other loop. Now I start to bend, and go slow. You don't have to go fast with this. Memory wire can be difficult sometimes. It doesn't want to bend. Okay, and as you can see, both loops are exactly the same size. You're just going to take your pliers that you cut the memory wire with, and you're going to cut off the end. It doesn't matter where. Because these, as good as they are, they're not precise. So what you have to do to get these cut properly is you take your flat nose pliers, and now you're going to pull that loop out this way. And then you're going to take these and you're going to go in and you're going to cut a portion of that off. So I'm going to cut a portion off. And I'm going to pull it back in, and it's still a little bit too long. So I'm going to just do it one more time, just a little tiny bit off the end there. And then pull it back in. And do the same with the other side. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to trim with our big trimmers here. And then that one I got better. I'm just going to close this one up a bit more. And if you find one loop is bigger than the other, just pull that back out and take a little bit more off of it. And there is our cute little pendant. Now you just got to add your chain, and that did not take long at all. Really cute piece. I really like the odd shape of these stones. I think they make a terrific statement piece. Just the way that they sit, the way that they look. They are odd, but that's what makes them so beautiful. And turquoise, oh, it's getting windy here. Turquoise is absolutely the most stunning thing to wear with silver, with these adjacent, with these contrasting colors. I think they look beautiful. Really like the way these turned out. I'll be taking these to the sale with me. It is rodeo season, so I'm hoping some of the beautiful cowboys that are out there riding this season will enjoy these. How about a pair of earrings, you guys? You want to make a pair of earrings? All right. Let's make a pair of earrings to go with these beautiful, stunning pendants. All right, we are making this earring to go with the pendant that we just finished. So this is what we're going to need. You're going to need an ear wire, silver color if you're using silver wire, a chandelier pendant. This one I got from Bead Box Bargains. I think you can get these on Amazon as well. Again, I will leave a link to everything in the description below. Some turquoise colored chip beads. Oh, and I forgot. We're going to need one of the strawberry quartz chip bead, just one of those. And then half round wire, 21 gauge in color silver. You're going to need a 4-inch piece, one 4-inch piece, two 3.5-inch pieces, and three 3-inch pieces. And then of course the usual flush cutters, round nose pliers, my famous round nose pliers. And if you're going to straighten the wire, I usually do it with the nylon pliers, and a pair of flat nose pliers. Okay, I'm going to clear this all off and we're going to get started. So we're going to start with the longest link, and that will go on the middle loop. So there's two on this side, two on the side, one in the middle. This is going to be the longest one. I'm going to take my 4-inch piece of half round wire, and I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to put them just off to the side a little bit. Not by much. This side is actually a little bit longer than this side. Right at the end of those round nose pliers, and we are going to twist it around. Make sure that the flat side of your half round wire is facing that way, away from you. Okay, and then we're going to crisscross those, adjust your pliers, and then bring the long one around so that they meet up like that. I'm going to put my pliers back into that little loop that I just made so that it's facing like this. I'm going to press those two wires together with my fingers and have the two halves as parallel with each other as I can get them. The beads just fit better on there when it's like that, and that's what you have. Now I'm going to start with and what I did was I picked a large chip bead, medium, and small. Okay, and then the smallest chip bead. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to put my pliers on the two wires at the second notch. And I'm going to make my normal loop. And this is what we have. Do not close that because you want to add this to your chandelier pendant. And the middle loop. I'm going to take my really small round nose pliers just to hold those wires in place and wrap this around. And make sure those end wires are facing the back of the chandelier, and that's where you're going to want to trim off. I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and press those ends in. Now there's not going to be any sharp bits, but honestly this won't touch anybody. It just looks a lot neater with the half round wire to press them in. It looks neat and tidy. And there's our first dangle done. Dangle done, that sounds funny. And we're going to do the next one. So for this one, you're going to take a 3.5-inch piece of your half round wire. And you're going to make two of these, and they're going to go on either side, so here and here. So you just do the exact same thing. So I've got the round part of the wire facing me. Just make sure there's a little bit longer wire on this side to this side, or if you're left-handed, the opposite way. And we're going to go around. And I'm going to put my pliers back in a little loop on the other side and just press those wires together. And now you are going to put 2 chip beads on there. Then, same thing. Second notch. Take it off. And then you're going to add it to the one side of your chandelier pendant. I'm going to use a very tiny round nose pliers and go around twice. I've been doing 2 loops each with this pair of earrings, and end pieces to the back. And flatten those ends so that they get hidden in there. There's the second one done. I'm going to do the same exact thing, so just make another one. Okay, and there's 3 done all together. Now we're going to work on the last 2. You're going to take your 3-inch piece and you're going to do exactly the same thing as you did with the other 2. So just off a little bit. Wrap it around. And take it off and put it back in and press those wires together. And then you're just going to add 1 chip bead. And the loops are going to all be the same. They're all going to be on the same mark, so that's 2 on my pliers. I want them to move around a little bit, so I made the loops to this a little bit bigger. So it's pretty straightforward, very easy to do, and the end result is quite pretty. Trim those to the back and then do that again for the other side and attach it. And we will be back after you get that last one done to do the middle. You should have 1 more piece of half round wire at 3 inches in length. You're going to do the exact same thing as you did with all the other ones. So just off to the side, flat part facing away from you, and just do your loop. Adjust and press those in. Bend those wires through here. And the easiest part is to add your ear wire. And there we go. Cute little turquoise earrings with the strawberry quartz in the middle, which match this beauty perfectly. I added the turquoise chip beads just on the chain here when I made the loops, my loops here, and I also added them here on the clasp end. I really do like adding that there. I just think it brings a really nice added touch to the beauty of the whole piece. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it easy to follow along, and I would love to know if you guys try any of these designs that I made here today. It was a lot of fun designing them and putting them all together. I also want to say thank you to everybody that commented on the last video. I really am inspired by everybody, and when you leave comments, it just makes this job even better and gives me something to strive for. Okay guys, you have a great day, and I would love to see you back here for my next video. Bye!